Good morning. How's everybody doing? It is the Raider Nation Jasin Las Vegas Raiders podcast, but we're doing it from the Bay. We will let everybody come in, get comfortable, have a seat, have a drink, have some breakfast. Yeah, we early today, but we here. A lot of stuff we're gonna, get into. It's a lot of stuff coming up. We got the year of They Not Like Us, the year anniversary of the drop. I missed like the reactions and everything to that, so we might do a little something now. Drake had his track Push Ups, which I think was the best track out of the diss back and forth from Drake. And from on the Kendrick side, I thought it was Euphoria. Yeah, Not Like Us got the credit, but I feel like Euphoria was the track that just ate Drake's soul. So we'll have a reaction to who really won between the Battle of Push-Ups from Drake and Euphoria from Kendrick Lamar. I am Team Kendrick, by the way. So, you know what I'm saying? Let that be known. Yeah, so we heard a little bit about, everything kind of going on. I have very, 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 very good news. We have an interview coming very, very soon. I figured within this week. Ex-player, I'm going to leave it for a surprise, you know what I'm saying? But ex-player played in the 2001 season for us. So I'll leave it at that. But very excited to, for him to bless the podcast and come on. Yeah, very excited for that. Great story, man. Great story. Guy's a soldier, But, glad to have him on. But that'll be coming soon. So get ready. Stay tuned. Also, this channel is, we're rising. We're moving. But like I said, without you guys, that's not possible. So like, I just want to thank everybody, man, for just tuning in, for being there. Just for all the support, man. At the moment, I can't think of any negative, flack that I've got since I've started YouTube and everything like that. But I do genuinely appreciate everybody, from the content creators to the listeners, to, just everybody involved, to the players we've been able to get on the podcast. Just everybody, man, just everybody that's with this Raider movement. I appreciate you guys. You guys could be anywhere, but you guys choose to come rock with us, and we all appreciate it. So from the heart, thank you. We all also, like I said, I wanted to do a lot more last year, but it was a rough season. But we will have a giveaway. I still have some great items. In fact, the next items are actually full-size helmets. So excited to get this going. I was gonna wait till I get monetized, man. So I'm pushing right now because I want you guys to get it. I want to get to this goal, because you do it. It's not for the money, but if you're gonna do something, you want to reach whatever goal is at the end of it. I definitely want to hit it. So I'm a goal oriented person. So I definitely I need your help. So Raider Nation, please. You don't even have to like me. Just listen. You know what I'm saying? You can hate me after you listen. Just listen, please. But you just know anything about me, anybody that doesn't know me, for the new people that are coming to the channel, I have been a Raider since I fell out of my mama's womb. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never known any other team. I grew up in Oakland. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Battle of the Bays, you know what I'm saying? Most of the time didn't work out for us, but when it did, it was lovely. You know what I'm saying? So, I appreciate, just the fan base, just what we represent. I know for the last, 20 odd years, it hasn't been the best, but I love you guys for your loyalty. No matter what, we lose Sunday, by Wednesday, we circle back and we ready for the next Sunday. So, you know what I'm saying? That's how we rock. and it's going to be like that. And then I just hope, the goal is that our team, our team sees our struggles, sees what we go through, sees we come rep. You know what I'm saying? We good. All the stuff we go through as fans, especially for the Raiders, and we just want it to pay off. You know what I'm saying? We just want to build for this season, do it the right way, do it consistently, not just make the playoffs right now, and then 4 more years we're still trying to win at least 10 games. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to be competitive every year. That's the goal. And we don't know what we have yet, but I do have faith. And that's all. That's all I can say. I have faith. And I love my team. And let's try to get to the playoffs. I'm not going to say that we are, but I feel, it's always possible. Things can go crazy. That's Derek Carr. You know what I'm saying? So I know he's a saint. And Wi-Fi, I'm sorry. I know this was heartbreaking news to you. But that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. I hope just for Wi-Fi's sake that Derek doesn't go anywhere else where he has to add another team. But that's just me. But yeah, we heard about Derek Carr's shoulder injury, possibly could be out for next season. Does that affect us with the draft? Possibly. That's even if Shadur. Well, like I said, if the Giants want to trade out of that spot to trade back, that's probably the move for New Orleans to kind of jump. With us would be nice because we would just love to get those picks. You know what I'm saying? But I just see realistically, I've always felt New York Giants are the wild card because they just picked up 2 quarterbacks, so the quarterback need is not too crazy, and they could either draft a running back or a weapon, and then at that position because they have the quarterback, so they can just give them tools. But the thing is too, like the Giants need a running back. Genty's there; they can move back and still get Genty. For us, we've been eyeing on Genty quarterbacks, all this, but it's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy, and we won't know until that day. Does somebody want to give the farm for someone that? Because I've been seeing the Shadur to New Orleans, and it does make sense. It's a good look for him. You know what I'm saying? It actually is a good look for him, and he's better than what they have at Rattler, Hayner, all those guys. Sucks for Derek. Sucks. Because for Derek. Derek can't afford to lose these seasons. You know what I mean? Because he's kind of on the downside of his career. And like you probably wondering why are we even talking about Derek Carr, right? Well, Derek's time in New Orleans, I'm afraid, guys, is coming to an end. So what does that mean for us, right? What does that mean? Well, you know how it goes. As you've seen, once a Raider, always a Raider. Sam Tanka, salute. Ray Love, salute. It's one of those things where everybody that, especially Derek kind of has that where he can come back to the Raiders and, a lot of people would be happy with that, like letting him finish as a Raider because, like I said, he's going to miss this next season. We don't know what's in store. Like, say if they do draft by that time, Shadur will be probably, if he goes there, that is, if he goes there, he would be the starter there. So what would that mean for Derek? Derek would be that veteran if he's willing to do that, but for the price tag, probably not so much. So that's what I say. Like I could see him trying to circle back around. I'm not saying that's what I want. That's what I don't want. I'm just saying I could. That's how this kind of relates to us and the draft situation. If they're gonna, but are they gonna go with what's the guy? I mean, not Hayner, but Rattler. Are they going to go with Rattler? Did they see anything they like that they feel that they can build on in the second season? It's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough season in New Orleans. Um, Now as far as us, I still want us to trade back. Still want us to trade back, get more picks. Not too far back, but like, mid 13, somewhere like there. Like if we get maybe a couple times, just to stack some more seconds and thirds so we can really get the bulk of what we need and, some good players, some solid players. And yeah, see, that's what if they it would be smart, because that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna spend all that draft capital and you need more than just they're like us, they need more than just a quarterback. It's not just like I mean, well, we got a quarterback now, I'm saying, but like that's how it was for us. We could move up and all that, but we still had other needs that we still had to address. So we need those draft picks. So that's the thing. We got to be smart. Just use the picks wisely. Don't move up because if that's what you wanted to do, you should. You can thank the last squad for that. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's why I say it would be silly if we traded up. That's why I don't even want to really hear about trading up because there's no point because you were there and for some reason you seen that it was more helpful for the team to win pointless games to take ourselves out of the place that would have got us a quarterback, which is still odd to me because if we trade up, that is insane. It's not good business at all. But at least we landed the quarterback. And shout out to the Las Vegas Review Journal because on my last show I talked about that. Like this was before. I think it was after he signed the contract. After Gino signed the contract, and we were talking about um, do we draft a quarterback high this year? Like, do we? I always say waste a pick, but do we spend a pick high, like a first, second, third, on a future quarterback when we have our quarterback in place right now and we need weapons for him? So that's what I was saying. Is it better to stack for the quarterback that we have on the roster now, or do we plan for a quarterback that's not even, we don't know what the future is. We don't even know if he's going to be there in the first place. So that's what I said. So my thing was I would rather build around the quarterback that we have now, make it the best, situation for him. But I definitely wanted to go to the, kind of react to the podcast that the Las Vegas Review Journals take on the whole Chino and the future quarterback for the Raiders. Because I was like, it's funny that they did that after, because that was that was kind of my thoughts. And, because it's like, yes, we need a quarterback for the future, but we have Gino for 2 years. So I feel basically there's no rush to do it this year. We could do it next year and let, him develop in that next year. And then, we could, if that was the case, we don't have to do it this year. That's all I'm saying. Because there's some good quarterbacks that should be available next year too. So, but nothing is for certain. But yeah, let's like I said, shout to Las Vegas Review Journal, and we will see
that it's business and all those things, but he was working on a contract with Seattle.
Yeah.
And there weren't a whole lot of options beyond Seattle. And all of a sudden,
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
Either I can go make money with the Raiders and be happy and play with Pete Carroll, or Seattle's going to have to pay me or know that there's an option out there for me. And I think that, and they could have kept him under the contract. I suppose that could have happened. That probably wasn't going to ever happen. So, that was another option out there that was, hey, I'm totally willing to go to the Raiders. I would love to go to the Raiders unless you want to pay me a lot of money here in Seattle. And that's kind of how these things work sometimes. I mean, sometimes options are the best negotiators, and that's kind of what happened for Gio. Not that I think he was happy either way. I think if Seattle would have paid him a ton of money, he would have been happy.
I think just to push back a little bit on that, I think what he ultimately signed for the with the Raiders for was on the table from Seattle.
Potentially,
I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a chance. I mean, it sounded like he wanted. Didn't Darnold get significantly more?
No.
Let's see what his final deal was, because the way it breaks down, this is really a 2-year deal for Gino.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing there. So yeah, I mean, he wanted stability for sure, but yeah, that's possible too. And maybe they weren't willing to give him what they gave Darnold, and maybe that was his problem too. Like, I know what you're going to pay Sam Darnold. Like, I kind of want that. Who knows exactly how it played out. But I think it did open up options for him. No question about it. And he knew as soon as Pete Carroll took this job, that was an option. And it wouldn't have been, if Pete Carroll was talking to Chicago at one point, probably wouldn't have been the option there.
Definitely not.
But when it was the Raiders and when it was a quarterback needy situation, that's kind of where, things kind of sparked a little bit.
I mean, for me, that part doesn't matter because he's here now, but, it's a great point that he chose. If it was for the same money, he made the smart choice and going to, where he felt comfortable because he went to where his guy Pete was. And he knows, hey, Pete was the one that brought me here. Pete's not here no more. So there's a chance if once this year is over, since they're kind of playing with the extension, they might just kind of go either rookie or trade or something like that. But you see, they did Darnold, so they had a plan in store.
I do the weekly mailbag for Vegas Nation, which will you could go to Vegas Nation to check it out. And there was a question that was posed to me, which was, why would the Raiders, pay $66 million? It's really at this point about $56 million, and that's the $40 million that he's getting paid this year between the salary and a signing bonus, and then also 18 and change million dollars of his 2026 $26 million salary. So that's that. They're in on him for over $50 million, period. Without him taking one snap. And the suggestion was, it's obvious that the Raiders are going to draft their quarterback of the future in the draft. And the insinuation was that Smith was going to start half of this year, and then the successor who they draft is going to take over for him halfway through this.
I'm just going to say that's crazy. Like I said, for that amount, because look what Minshew was making, and he ended up starting. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's when you pay a quarterback that much money, you're not worried about his replacement so much. You know what I'm saying? Because if that was the case, you wouldn't have paid him all that money. So that's the thing. Yes, we need to worry about because he is older. But we do need to think about the future quarterback, yes. But is that time now?
Stop it. The Raiders didn't just pay $56 million to Geno Smith for half of a season of starter Geno Smith. The more likely path, and I'll get your thoughts on this, is that he's going to be the starter here for the next 2 years. The next part of his 2026 salary, which gets guaranteed the third day of the new league year in 2026, is going to kick in. He's going to be the starting quarterback next year as well. And then I think after 2 years, the Raiders will size up the situation, whether to move forward with Geno or whether they believe if they even draft somebody between now and then.
Oh, they better.
Which they will. They will. I'm just saying, you never know. It might be this year. It could be next year. But whoever they do draft between this year's draft and next year's draft, if that quarterback's going to be ready heading into 2027, that will be the decision on whether they stay with Geno Smith or move on to their quarterback. There's no way that they just paid him $56 million for half of a season of Geno Smith.
Well, I don't think that.
But then let's go beyond that. Like, we're banking on the quarterback of the future, right? But what if Geno actually plays good and he's consistently good? Is there going to be talks of quarterbacks then? Probably not. You know what I mean? So, like, it is kind of a wait and see. Like, of course, we have high hopes thinking that, okay, he's getting all this money. He's going to play good. He's going to get us to the playoffs. He's going to do everything he did in Seattle with us. But we know it doesn't work like that. So it's like we got to see. So I'm for me, I'm hoping the guy balls out. You know what I'm saying? I don't want us to have to be thinking about a rookie quarterback. We want professionals. Not saying the rookies aren't professionals, but I'm saying, like, we want people that know what they're doing. They're not going to be deer in the headlight when big moments happen. We want people that are going to know what to do and all about winning. They know how to win.
That's their plan.
No.
Their plan is that he's the quarterback and that they're in the playoffs. That's their plan. I don't think that's realistic, but that's their plan, is what they want to have.
Shame on you, but go ahead, continue.
Mm-hmm. What I think could change that, and to the point that the question was. I think the question is faulty on its surface because I
Right.
do think they're going to draft what they hope is their quarterback
I
for the
agree.
future, or at least bring in
Yeah.
a quarterback to develop in the future. It'd be malpractice not to at some point
No,
in the
of
next
course.
2 years.
I'm with you on that.
So they should draft somebody. What Geno Smith does is make it so you don't have to do it with the 6th pick. You don't have to do it in the 2nd round either. Like, you have flexibility to say, hey, at some point we can find a quarterback to develop. We don't have to do it. It's not a necessity. It's not the most pressing need on the roster. We have a little bit of time. And even if it is, hey, we have to wait till next year or see how the market plays out.
I kind of would like the mill roll. Like, since we have Geno for 2 years, I would definitely, I'm not saying 6th pick, but I would take a chance. If I was going to take a chance this year on a quarterback, I would probably do it with Milrow for the possibility that his skills will develop. He's got the legs. That would be, that would be ideal. There could be a lot of quarterbacks you could take, but I would probably take him just because of that upside. Super mobile.
That, like, you have a little bit of time, you have a little bit of flexibility.
What you
to do
also
that.
have is the time to develop that quarterback.
Sure, and that's the other thing, that you don't have to draft a quarterback that can play today, right? And it goes back to, and I've talked about this several times on the podcast, but I'm very fascinated by the 2023 Tampa Bay Buccaneers that John Spytek was a part of, and that he's talked extensively about, where they needed a quarterback immediately. They needed somebody to step in and play. And they were able to find
Post Tom Brady.
So they were able to find Baker Mayfield at a reasonable price. He actually played really well. But what they did around him was they said, hey, we usually draft guys that we can develop. We need to draft guys that can play now. Older players that have played a lot in college. We need to draft guys that can play right now, step on the field and play. And it took away, and they did a good job of it, but it took away their usual strategy of, hey, we can develop guys, we can, see where they go. In this case, they didn't want to be forced into, we need somebody that can start day one. Like, where are we going to find that guy? It's no panic. Hey, if it's a Jalen Milrow who might not be ready right away, if it's, a guy.
I'm not crazy. See? I'm not crazy. I am not crazy. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, there's Shador, there's the, Ewers, there's Dart, but, like, you can't coach speed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, that's a talent that you either have or you don't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you could get a little bit faster. There's things you can do to get faster, but, you're not going to go from 4.56 to a 4.42, 4.24. You know what I'm saying? Like, but just my thing is that would, like, take the pressure. That would take the pressure off, basically. Take the pressure off us, and we could still do everything we need to do. Like I said, it's how the draft falls, how the quarterback situation with Cam Ward, Shador, all that will determine what we do. Because I feel like if it's not either a Mason Graham or like a Shador, we'll probably move back. Like, even the Genty, I think we could move back and still get Genty. So, but like I said, New York Giants are a wild card in this thing. I am very curious of what they do with that 3rd pick.
Guy like that.
Will Howard,
who might take some time to develop. You can take that guy because you have Geno Smith as a starter. Now, to the point of he's here for half a year, don't think that's the case. But if the Raiders are out of contention, week 10, week 11, they're 3-8 or whatever their bye is, 2-8 at some point, something like that.
See, I don't see that. I see it's hard. I know for everyone kind of looks at last year, the year before that, and that's kind of been tainted and cemented in people's minds. But you're saying that we're going to win less games with a better quarterback, a better coach, a better offensive coordinator, our same defensive coordinator for the last few years. I don't see it. 8-2. I'll see that before we see that 2-8. But I'm not saying we're going to go 8-2. But I'm just saying, like, I'll see us having a winning record rather than that 2-8, because he's going back to a coach that knows him, and he's gonna. I feel like his strengths are going to come out. And yes, we don't see it right now with our offensive roster, but if they add the right pieces, if they add the right 3 pieces, we will be just fine. 3 pieces, 3 main pieces. So the draft will be interesting. Like, this is something, but I feel there's no player, unless we reach for something crazy. But I feel like everyone that we've been projected, from the Genty to like Mason Graham to Mimbu. I mean, there's really no bad selection, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't be mad at any of the picks. Yeah, I would probably like favor something maybe more than other. I'm an offensive guy, so of course I like the wide receiver, running back room. But I understand how crucial it is to get the line to protect for the guys like the running backs and the wide receivers. So it's all the body, man. Like, it's all the arms, the legs, you know what I'm saying? The feet, the head. They're all necessary together.
Okay, now maybe you're like, all right, take a step back.
And that's justifiable.
Let the guy come right, and that's probably how you should handle it. But
you're not planning on him.
I don't think the plan is to be out of contention in week 11 and bringing a new guy in, but that could change things. So, that's where you are right now.
By the way, Baker Mayfield, and Adam will back me up on this, we shared a ride to Los Angeles for a Thursday night game. And Baker Mayfield had been in the Rams building for a day.
Yeah.
And Adam was adamant that he was done. He was cooked.
Now, I know you guys remember this one, right? When Baker Mayfield was a Ram, and he was there for not too long. They signed him. Cooked us.
There was no more future for Baker Mayfield. I'm like, don't sleep on Baker Mayfield. I mean, I didn't expect him to do what he did in the fourth quarter in that game. Number one, that was all on the Raiders, and Jerry Tillery, by the way.
Yeah.
But I did believe that Baker Mayfield there was something salvageable with Baker Mayfield. Say what you want, and he's got a ceiling and all that. But I still think there was a decent quarterback in there, and he's proof that there's life on the other side sometimes. And it's also proof, and I think Geno Smith is a clear example of this. If getting in the right situation, getting some good coaching, and getting some time to maybe develop and sit back a little bit, which is what Baker Mayfield got, when he went to Los Angeles and was under Sean McVay. So he was kind of ready-made there for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but a shrewd move by John Spytek. And your point is well taken, because I think that's the draft process. I think that's the draft plan for this year, is to draft players that can help them right now. There's going to be some long-range development guys as well, but I think early in the draft, especially that first round, is going to be somebody that's going to immediately help what they hope could be a playoff team this year, or somebody that can knock on that door. Much like what John Spytek helped oversee in Tampa Bay.
I mean, I feel it's interesting because I feel like they're off season, which I would think I actually think is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Most people think is bad because I don't think they got significantly better.
Right.
But it seems like their off season is planning for the future. Like, they've played for the future. So I do think the draft would kind of be about the future. Now, with the 6th pick, you want somebody that's going to impact you right now.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to draft a developmental piece at number 6. But I think with the rest of the draft, I think you can take developmental pieces because I think you are setting yourself up for the future. I don't think they made a bunch of moves that were like, hey, we need to compete for a playoff spot right now. It was, we're building for a future. We're building for flexibility for the future. We're not committing long term. We're bringing in guys that are going to be good right now and can play and make us competitive. But we're not worried about throwing, like, hey, we don't need to have 5 impact players in free agency with all this money we have because we're ready right now. They know that they're not ready.
I agree.
So with that being said right there, right, like, that's kind of, it makes sense, like why they're not going so heavy. You know what I mean? They're I hate to say it like this, but they're piecing together a team. You know what I'm saying? Like good players though. Like it's not like they're just putting garbage. You know, they're piecing good players. They're keeping people we wanted them to keep. And they're getting rid of the dead weight. And that's what it is. Like, and that's all you can do is when, like, say if you say that player I'm just these are just random, just player B is not performing, like as fans, like if we see like, man, this dude is sorry, like, oh my god, I can't wait till this dude gets off this team, and then the next off season they cut him, like when you're just like, thank you. It's like when you both see the same thing and you see the team respond to whatever the negative thing is. That's what you love. We tend to not do that. Like, and it's this off season was, yeah, we lost some players that we wanted to keep too, but for the most part, we got it, and then, hey, shout to them. Good luck out there. But what we are building, even though it's with these 1 and 2 year deals, like, which I, as if you know me, I do not like. I would rather get good players, commit to them, but see it just reminds me of the old Raider way, man, like of not paying. Like, we got money invested in Wilkins, we got money invested in Max, we got money invested in, who am I forgetting? The heavy contracts, but because I know it was Devontae, but it's like we dump a lot of money into certain players, but then I don't know, it's crazy. It's kind of, I don't like, I like a even roster. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want people on both sides, not just one side getting paid, 40 a season, or 40 a season, and then this dude over there is getting like 2.3. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there should be balance to these things, especially if you're winning 4 games. I mean, I know each player gets paid for his individual thing, but like, that's why I like incentives and contracts for like the playoffs. Like, if you want more money, then you got to win more games. You get to the playoffs, that's where the incentives start coming. You get to the next round of the playoffs, that's incentive. So, it makes players want to play. And then that's why I feel like our contracts, maybe that's what we're not doing in the front office, but giving incentive, playoff incentives. Like your contract, yeah, you could get $6 million, but that could go up to $9 million if you get to the divisional round, or whatever it is, and because it would make people want to play. Yeah, they should want to win and all that anyway, but I mean, hey, we playing for money, man. We ain't playing for free. So I think that was all I wanted to give you guys out of that one, because I know I don't want to eat the whole thing, but let me see. Let's see what we got.
Well, whether they are or not, I do think that they think that there's a chance that they can compete this year with the Landon Roberts, with the Jeremy Chins, with the Devin Whites, with the guys that they brought in on the short-term deal tells me that they're thinking along the bigger picture on short-term deals. But they brought in guys that they feel like for this year can help them win games right now. And what?
Now, the defense, sorry to keep stopping it. The defense will be fine. That's the one thing. We don't have to worry about the defense. The defense will be fine. We are good in the defensive field. So, like, basically, what I'm saying is going to be similar, as I see it now, it's going to be similar to the offense we've seen these last couple of years. That's what worries me, because, the defense is going to get the stops, but I feel like we will be better than last year, but we won 4 games last year. So that doesn't leave us, that leaves us a whole bunch to get better. But I don't know. That offense worries me. So until we make the needed changes and add the pieces and I see it, then I won't be so worried. But as far as the defense, I'm not worried. The defense will be fine. We will be fine. So, but will we be able to keep up? Will we be able to score more than 16, 17? Can we score 25, 27, 31? Can we do that?
I don't know what that ceiling is, but I can't rule out 9 wins or 10 wins, not with what I believe that they have and what they're going to bring in the draft. I do think 9 or 10 wins is possible for them. It's not going to light the world on fire. You're not going to win the Super Bowl, but you can be competitive and give your starved fans a good season, but still not lose sight of that future, because the contracts that they gave up or they gave in free agency are conducive to, hey, thank you for the memories. Thank you for helping us this year win some football games. We're going to quickly move on from you because we drafted your replacement right behind you.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple ways to look at it. I think they're not overcommitting to some bad long-term deals that are going to have them, hampered for a long time. Like, yeah, these guys, if everything works out right, if everything goes well, they could compete for a playoff spot. But I think that they're locked into, hey, we're planning for most of these guys to be gone, new blood to be in here, younger players developing, and really setting up for a successful future, which I think is the right way to do it.
When we watch them in training camp coming up, do you think we're going to be having the discussions that we had at last year's training camp about how awful the offense was?
No.
I don't think that there's a snowball's chance, and what.
It's also going to be a Chip Kelly offense.
Well, that too, but I think the quarterback is going to be better. I think the offensive line grew as the year went on. It's not going to be as bad as it kind of. And by the way, Colt Miller wasn't out there during training camp last year. JPJ wasn't out there for most of training camp either. So, but just strictly from the quarterback position, it's not going to look like it did in last. Remember, all I know is we had conversation after conversation during training camp last year. Wrote about it, talked about it, and in every medium that we do this, and it was just like, this offense is really bad.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And I don't anticipate that happening this year. And I think the floor that has been created will give them a much better chance. I'm not saying that they're going to go to the playoffs at all, but man, I think there's going to be some better football, at the very least, played at Allegiant Stadium next year from the offensive standpoint.
Yeah, well, we can, obviously we'll hear.
I hope so. I really hope so. Because what we seen last year, that was crazy. Salute everybody coming in the building. Raider Pete, shout to you too. Someone else? Appreciated the comment about Will Howard and Melrose as projects. Brady Cook has the skills now and would be a great add to the QB room. But we are taking Sanders anyway. Unless Giants jump on him, I personally just want best available player or best available playmaker. And I agree. I want someone that's going to make an impact now. I would love for it to be a very, very, very good offensive player. Be quarterback, be that be running back, be that be wide receiver. Whatever it is that'll add some oomph to this team. I'm with that. Brady Cook plays for Missouri. I actually like Brady Cook. I do. I think he was one of the sharpest ones at the at the combine. Like if you go back and watch the combine, watch how he looked on the wide receiver routes and all that. And I think he was the fastest quarterback that ran, even though I know not a lot ran, but shit, he ran like a 4.5 or something like that. Yeah, so a lot of people think he's raw, but the one thing with him is that he does stare down like the receivers. You know what I'm saying? So if he can go through the progressions, he definitely has accuracy. But yeah, like that's one thing about him. Yeah, I like him though. Like me, Jeff, and Chris, I believe we did a show watching the watching all the players. And yeah, Brady Cook and what was the dude from Minnesota? Brosner. Yeah. Looked like a mechanic. Shout out to all the mechanics in the world, man. Appreciate you. Mizzou is churning out lots of pro-ready talent in this year's draft. Cook Cook did well. Browsmer looked decent too at the combine. Yes, sir. See, I'm telling you, he does this. Yep. So it was cool to see that, man. We talked about okay, yeah. So put all your picks, man. Like who? What's your 1, 2, 3? Give me your first round. Uh, perfect draft. First 3 rounds. I will put mine in the chat. Which let's see. I'm gonna add a little extra, but that's just and then boom. Bam. That's mine. I will be so happy with that 1, 2, 3. Like say if we trade back Genty and then we get Zabel in that second, and then we get Jaden Higgins. I'll be cool. I will trust everything that they put down. Because like how they were talking just now with Las Vegas, Review Journal, right? Was the how Spy Tech, how they plugged in Baker, how they pretty much were competitive right off the jump. That's what I like. That I think that's what I was gonna ask while we were watching the video. Is that let me see? Do you have anything on Cook you could put on screen? Yes, sure. Yeah, like I think they could do. They can. We can compete now. You know what I mean? Like with the right pieces in place. Like we got the quarterback situation. It depends. Like I said, if we could fix this running game, we can get down with anybody, y'all. Excuse me. Okay, let me see. Let's see. All right. We'll check out his scouting report. Okay, let me see. Let me go back to here. Okay. Okay. So he's 6'2", senior, Missouri, 214. Yeah. In fact, let's see if we can yeah, this is him blazing that 40. And then we'll get into all his information, but he redshirted 2020, played in 3 games as a reserve, 6-7. Had an 85.7 QB rating, 72 yards in the TD. 2021, he played in 5 games with 1 start in the Armed Forces Bowl against Army. There he was played in. He was 46 for 58 in those games, 79.7 for a 345 and 2 TDs. Oh, dang. So he had 22 rushes for 92 yards and 4.2 per rush and 1 TD. The analysis on him, the overview, tantalizing prospect thanks to the athleticism and arm talent, but the more I studied, the more doubt creeped in. Cook played with a better command of the offense in 2023, which led to better in-game rhythm and results. He can make every NFL throw, but struggles to make them with consistent timing and accuracy. Cook needs to improve his eye discipline to keep windows open and safeties out of his business. He's an average decision maker and field reader who defaults to unsound passing platforms when he feels pressure. He has the size and mobility to make plays as a scrambler and with designed runs. Cook's physical traits and athletic ability are worth a discussion as a development prospect. Now, that's the part that, let me see. Let me go back to that, what he says. He can make every NFL throw, but struggles to make them with consistent timing and accuracy. He can make every NFL throw, but struggles to make them with consistent timing and accuracy. His strengths: possesses a strong arm with a relatively effortless delivery. Works with adequate operation time and release quickness. Arm talent to uncork drives, throws from off platform. Displays decent feel for touch throws between levels. Generates sudden pocket escapes when pressure flares. Athletic and instinctive as a runner outside the pocket. Size, toughness, and talent for design runs when needed. Weaknesses. Okay. Stares at targets and leads safeties to their work. That's what I was saying. Like, that's the comp with him, was that he definitely stares his receivers down and can possibly get his wide receivers lit up. Decision making from the pocket is average. That's definitely not a good thing for a quarterback. That's definitely not a good decision making from the pocket is average. Fails to manipulate coverage and throw with anticipation versus zone. Rushes through progressions with sloppy footwork. Throws with low release point and troubling inaccuracy. Low release point. So that basically will get stuff knocked down. If you don't get those passes above the line, it's pointless. Too much wobble and not enough spiral on his throws. He might have small hands. Normally, that's kind of what happens with small hands. You throw those wobblers because you can't grip it. You can't grab that thing. But, let me see. Let me go back. Well, what do you guys think? Brady Cook. Developmental. He's always my my worst, if I'm doing my mock drafts, and say, if I see his name there, I definitely take it as a last case, last draft, or I guess we're just going to next year and do it. In fact, Will Howard's someone I really don't follow too much. You know what I mean? If you guys would like to do one on him, let me see. Let's see. Looking for the search box, but I'll just do it how I did it. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me because these are people, I know the connection with Chip Kelly, it could be possible, but let's see. Let's just see, because you never know. We might end up with him like late round, because like we watched, we really don't need the quarterback right now. Now we have Geno, so um, it could be a late round quarterback that we take. So Will Howard could be one of those. 6'4", 236, big dude. Didn't run the 40. I'm just gonna assume not too fast. Let me see. Okay, so the overview of him. Howard brings outstanding size and toughness to the table. He showed good improvement over the last 3 seasons. He is more a vessel of a play caller than a playmaking talent, though. Oh, I hope this doesn't reflect Will Howard's talents. No. He typically reads half the field and makes reasonable decisions with the football, using good mechanics and consistent accuracy. He doesn't hold defenders at bay with his eyes and lacks the arm strength to beat tight man coverage on second and third level throws. And we kind of seen that too. We seen a little of that in the combine. He was struggling on those deep outs. He showed good poise in 2024 to beat the blitz through the air and has always been able to escape pressure by making plays with his legs. I thought they said he is more of a vessel of a play caller than a playmaking talent, though, which I felt like they said he gets away from. He is big, tough. Howard is big. Sorry, excuse me. I can't read too, guys. My bad. This is just the glare. Howard is big, tough, and accurate, but benefited from superior talent at the skill position at Ohio State. Now, he had two very good running backs. He had a good receiver there. Good talent, very good talent, like around him. So they're saying basically that he benefited from the talent he had, which a lot of people say that about Quentin Ewers. That he had a lot of talent around him, and then that's why he was so successful. But unless he proves he can play chess against NFL defenses, he might not have the toolbox to become, more than an average backup. Outstanding. Okay, so for strengths, outstanding size and toughness inside and outside the pocket. Elevated his consistency and performance in the postseason. Can work off platform with relative ease and efficiency. Throws from a grounded base with good mechanics and repeatable delivery. Now that's actually pretty impressive. Like the consistency of his mechanics and repeatable delivery. That means that 9 times out of 10 he's doing it the same way. So that means he either, and I like the good base too, because that's where a lot of us like are off our, back off the back foot, trying to, Mahomes it, if you will. But yeah, I like that he has a good base, because with that's where your accuracy comes. That's where, if you can be consistent like that, and I don't know. I'm liking what I'm hearing of the strengths. We haven't got to the weaknesses though. Get off the mic, boy. What are you doing? Cat trying to get on the mic. It's not your show. No, but let me see. Delivers the ball. Yeah, delivers the ball with consistent accuracy to the frame. Able to buy time for routes to develop when pressured. Come on now. Does that sound like what we've been asking for, guys, for the last couple of years? Just somebody to, just create a little time so we can make a big play down the field. Able to buy time with routes to develop when pressured. Has poise, accuracy, and touch to beat a blitzing defense. That actually impressed me too. That he's pretty good when blitzed. That means he knows pretty much who's open, which is good because a lot of people get confused. They just see somebody coming at them. They don't think, okay, this is where the gap is. This is who's open right now. This is who's streaking. Has poise, accuracy, and touch to beat a blitzing defense. Uses legs on zone read and for short yardage carries. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. We have somebody that can actually make it happen. All right, for the weaknesses. I like it's a shorter list, though. Very gradual in his setup and release on the 3-step drop in RPOs. Very gradual in his setup on 3-step drops and RPOs. It's very gradual. Can be mechanical and predictable from the pocket. Mechanical. You know who they used to call mechanical was Peyton Manning. So we'll take that. Will struggle to beat NFL corners when throwing outside the numbers or into tight windows. Now, that was those sideline, like late in games, you're down, you're trying to save some clock, you're trying to get down the field with 40 seconds, and you need to get out of bounds. You throwing corner routes, you get the wide receiver toe tap, save you some time. We've seen the accuracy was not so good for Mr. Howard at the combine on those like routes. He's got to get better with that. Hopefully that's something he's working on as we speak. Just he should be working on just getting better, in general. Not enough eye manipulation to keep defenders guessing. Content with half-field reads instead of getting through his progressions. It'd be good for him to see the whole field because, if you're looking at half, you're missing everything else. Had some contested throws bailed out by receivers' ball skills. I mean, sometimes it happens like that, though. Sometimes the quarterback makes the wide receiver look good. Sometimes the wide receiver makes the quarterback look good. So the only thing, like I said, is those outside, like the corner routes. That's all of everything that I've heard of his weakness and just that I've noticed. But I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more upside to his, and he seems like a good kid too. Like he's not too, he's kind of all business. But yeah. Like I said, shout to everybody, man. And Raiders have always surprised us on our draft picks, so it really doesn't matter what we think or want. What we're gonna do is probably a whole nother thing. Yeah, I definitely want to mobile. Like I said, even with Milrow. In fact, let's do that one too. And that'll be the last one we do. But I just, for Milrow, I think that would be raw. Because if a play breaks down, he could just get up out of there. If we could work on the accuracy, of course, but until he gets it, he's good with like short and almost, what do you call it? Mid routes and stuff like that. But like deep stuff, he's got to get a little bit better. But as far as like him getting out of the pocket would be, I'm just a fan, no draft scout. I just hope we get some good players we can use. That part, man. Like I just want to compete again. I want to whip the Chargers. I want to whip the Broncos. I want to whip the Chiefs. I want to whip everybody. But it starts in our division. We gotta get it in, And then like we don't know what's gonna happen when these players get drafted, when they come to the team. But all I know is we have a quarterback in place. We got to get that man some weapons. So I trust the regime, though. I know they're going to give, Geno everything he needs. Pete Carroll knows Geno, so he knows what he needs. So we ain't got to worry. Like I said, guys, we will have a special player, or sorry, excuse me, former Raider interview coming soon. Can't wait. We are going to get the details done today, so we will know, and I will set the thumbnail. Please tune in. Like I said, I'm pushing to get this thing monetized before the season starts, so we can have this giveaway for the full-size signed helmet by he was a number 1 pick. You know what I mean? I almost gave the year, but yeah, he was a number 1 pick in the draft in the early 2000s. But yeah, definitely have a signed helmet. As soon as I get monetized, man, I'm gonna bless you guys for I'm saying, for it. So somebody will be blessed with a full-size autographed helmet from a former NFL player that was the number 1 draft pick. But yeah, appreciate everybody. We're doing this one. I might come on later tonight. Like I said, things can change, and we will have a blessing for you. But yeah, how's everybody doing though? Like who? In fact, we didn't even get you. What was the? Let me see. Of who the 1, 2, 3 was? Did anybody put their? Oh, here we go. There we go. Because I definitely want to see these. Like I said, mine was trade back. We get Genty, Zabel, Jaden Higgins, and then I'm good. Good. Whatever we do after that, maybe like Savion Williams after that. Double up on some big receivers. We playing bully ball. Raider Pete, thank you. Said the perfect draft. Best playmaker available. 2 running backs, 3 O-line, or wide receiver. Okay. Sorry. 1 best player available, playmaker. 2 running back. 3 either O-line or wide receiver. If Genty goes 1, I'll take wide receiver at 2. Okay. And best lineman available at 3. The top 3 change dramatically if the quarterback and the RB are gone. Get a DB. Okay. I like that too. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like I said, I want a weapon. I want a game changer. I don't want this boring offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely want us to have, I want us to have it going. I want us to be able to compete with anybody. Where we get down, we know that our guy can get us down the field, and then we can get there. So we got Brock. We got Jacoby. I don't know if there's anybody that like Ramel Keaton, if any of those guys are standing out, because for some reason that's what I wanted to talk about. Thank you. Okay, so like when right now is the time that they're seeing they're gonna, there's no need to kind of make moves right now for the simple fact that they want to see what it looks like on the field now. That's how it goes. When like the guys, one of my favorite moments is when the guys, it was a couple of days ago when the guys, arrive. I think Max was the first one, and it was like 5-something in the morning. But yeah, I love those videos because that's the start. That's where the work starts. Because everything from last year is done. Now it's prove it time. You know what I'm saying? You get in that gym, You're working off everything that everybody said up about you in the off season. Oh, he's this, he's lighting the ass. He's, you know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff, he's slow. All this, he can't make NFL throws, all that. Then they're working, using that as that motivation, getting in that gym, getting bigger, getting better. I love that time. You know what I mean? And why I said that, I don't know. But I had a good point for that. But it was basically, oh yeah, that these guys, they're working now. This is where Pete and what you call it, Chip will see, even Patrick Graham, they will see what they have actually on the roster, what it looks like. Does it look good? Can we salvage this? Do we need anybody in this position? Can we upgrade in these positions? So, we have to be patient. We have to see what it looks like. We have to see what basically what we have right now before we start, getting players right now, because they want to see, can Collier be, the second, third back, you know what I mean? Instead of us, going Genty first, they're kind of going to see what they can salvage out of this roster, who's available and who we can add to. So who can we draft to complement these guys? So, we just got to be patient. They're going to add where they see these holes, because believe me, Pete ain't going for the mediocre. That's one thing. Yeah, he said that timing comment sounds like a BS one. Time pencil in by that report. He can also run for it and make first down, something Howard can never do. See, and that's crazy. They were saying that he could. They were saying that he could, but like I said, he wasn't kind of on my radar, so that was kind of good. I appreciate you guys, because that was good to kind of check him out. Let me see. Yeah, I want someone that can scramble, man. Like I don't, like I said, you ain't got to be Mike Vick or Lamar Jackson, but I mean, you got to be able to get out of there, because I always said it's 1, 2, and either throw or go. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got time, because, man, these boys are getting faster. These ends are coming around these corners like wide receivers. Let me see. Dude gets hit on throws, so the ball isn't as a perfect spiral, but he gets first downs in the SEC, which is true. Won a national championship, which is true. Yeah, so like he's, I like his poise. Like I said, I liked a lot of the things they said about him. We'll see what we do, because like if we get, it depends how the draft falls, because we need to eat. In these first 5 rounds, we need to eat. Like we got some business to take care of. That's why if we could trade back and get a couple more third, second round picks, that'd be lovely. And then possibly get an extra first, for trading back with somebody for next year too. Because in real life, like in the mocks, we don't do it because it's a mock. We're just, picking for pretty much right now. With real life, I want an extra pick, a first round for next year. Because if we trade back, it's going to cost you. We're going to get you. We Raiders at the end of the day. But yeah, we need that. We need that first round pick for next year too. So that's what I say. A lot of we feel like teams are going to do it. And if anybody does it, it should be us. Like if there's a trade from somebody trying to trade back to get somebody, we need that. We need that. We shouldn't let no trade go past us. We need that. Because it's building our roster. Whatever we got to do, we need that. We got to do that. Tyler Show. I think he was I don't know everything about him, but his the comp with him was also the staring down the receivers too. But good size though. I was like, what? That's the 6'6" guy. Let me see. Yeah, I forgot who did the show on Tyler's show or Shoe. What was it? Show? Or something like that. Shoe. Tyler for show. Yeah. But good thing is we have Geno now. And I will feel more comfortable once we get him some more wide receivers. And then I'll be satisfied. Then I'll shut up because I'm happy at tight end. We could add another tight end too, because if Mayer bounces back, we're good. But I haven't heard anything good. I haven't heard anything bad. So I guess we shall see. But I would still pick up like a Fannin or just Ferguson. Just someone, because we're gonna need either a blocking tight end. I know we picked up bro from the Panthers, Thomas. So but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And then of course I know we're gonna address this running back situation, and I know we're getting at least one of these damn Ohio State backs, at least one of them, if not both, but at least one of them. I will not understand how we didn't get one of them. I really won't, but I'll get over it. But I'm saying, like, when it happens, we better get when that draft happens. And the draft, guys, is close. It is coming. So we're almost there. We just got to hold on. We're almost halfway there. Yeah. Oh, did I go back? My bad. Hey, what's up with the guys? AR salute. Yeah, man. You're just up here talking a little Raider stuff, man. Yeah, things are good. Like it's going slow. I get it. Like, but things are going just fine. Yeah, me and a friend talked about that too. Like the Travis Hunter. I don't know. I've we were talking about that. We really don't feel like he is the best corner. You know what I'm saying? Like at the because I feel he gets injured a lot. You know what I mean? Like who was the player? I can't remember right now, but was it? Dang, I forgot. My friend was, he was telling me the tape on where he was getting ate up. I forgot the wide receiver that he was saying. But yeah, whoever it was giving him work. Nation needs to be mentally prepared for Ward, Hunter, Sanders, Genty, and the best DL guy all gone. It could be do we go best lineman or best DB? Because the depth at wide receiver and running back is awaiting. Yeah, it depends. Like I said, if it's not like if it's not a quarterback there, because I think we're gonna wait and see, and then say if when it comes if by the third pick, what's his name, Shadura and what's his name are gone, and then I think that's when we start moving back. But I think for Spytech and them, they know where the failures have come with this franchise. What the last regimes have been failing to do is get a quarterback in this building. Since the Derek Carr, separation, they've never put a solid starting quarterback, franchise quarterback, in the building and developed them. It was always a quick Band-Aid, bam, back, quick fix, bam. Let's just compete, just keep competing. Let's just put a Band-Aid on it. Let's just keep going, put another Band-Aid on it, just keep going. And until we address that, they're going to be out the door too. So their first order will probably be that quarterback position by first pick or second pick. You know what I mean? Like if they're gonna do it, it's gonna be by the first pick or second pick. That's my prediction. And if we're gonna address, and I believe they will, because I feel they're not gonna, because they did actually address it though. When if you think about it, they got Geno Smith, which we kind of overlooked because we're like, he's gonna be gone in a couple years, but can we get through this year? Can we just get through this year? Can we get through the offseason? Can we get through the preseason? Just 1 year at a time. We can't win 3 Super Bowls in 1 year. So let's just play this year. See how things shake out. Last time I checked, the Chiefs lost in the Super Bowl. So, you know, it can happen. Things can happen. Yeah, I understand the need for O-line, and I feel like I wish we had a did this years ago because we would have been set. Our line would have been set. You know, we got JPJ, we got whatchamacallit, we got Parnum. We have what am I JPJ. I still want us to get a true center. Like, not saying that JPJ is not a good center, but I feel like his impact at guard is better than if we could just get a solid center, and then just his impact at guard would be just so much better for what we're trying to do. So I would have liked to do that in free agency, to be honest, but you know, we'll see what we do next year. But if we could just get, like I said, in my draft, I got Zabel in that second round, but that was after, say, like we traded back and got Genty. And because that's one thing that we have to develop. Like, no matter what, the running game has to be developed. That is important. And we will get multiple backs. I know it. I almost can guarantee it. But because we need to, because that's the thing. You keep going. Like, they get hurt, you get another one, you plug them in there, and you keep forcing the ball down their throat. You know what I'm saying? That's the key to winning. Because if you can't stop the run, I'm not going to stop running. How about that? You know what I mean? So that's how it is. And that's what we could not do. It was run 1 yard, bam, -3 yards, bam, incomplete. Or no, excuse me, screen pass for 2 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a joke. And then so everyone's gonna just play up. They're like, you ain't gonna get nothing. We'll just take your dude out of it. And then, you know, because you ain't gonna be able to run the ball. So they were bullying us. Now we gotta bully them. So we build up the line, we run this ball. That's the first order. So as much as I want a wide receiver, I wouldn't be mad if they bulked up at the guard position, tackle, and drafted multiple running backs. I would be okay with that because that would open up so much for everybody else. And then, I mean, there's only one football. So, I mean, Myers, I keep forgetting about Tucker, but I feel like there should be somebody to upgrade for Tucker. Yeah, Tucker's speed we should definitely use, like I said, with those jet sweeps and all that. But as far as on the field, I want a bigger receiver. I want a bigger target for the quarterback. Raider Nation, you guys have been great, man, and I appreciate you. I know we got a lot of shows coming up in the morning. I'm going to, once I find out details on get everything set up for the interview, definitely, man, I'm going to bring it to you guys. And great story. I'll give you that ahead of time. It's a very great story from this gentleman. It says, Geno is a better brand and strength of a Band-Aid compared to Garoppolo and Minshew, who are more like a cheap Band-Aid you find in the expired mini first aid kits, travel kits. Now with the recent Carr injury news, New Orleans wants to get into the mix now too. Yeah, which would be crazy. And I just hope it's us that benefits. You know, I just want us to be the one that benefits. But I know, just look, like I said, look at the Giants. I see them trading with the Giants to try to get that. So we'll see if that happens. And then you can say, you heard it here first. But yeah, we pushing, man. We pushing. And I mean, Geno is an upgrade over what we had on the roster. And I'm excited. Like I said, we got a better offensive. It's not just the one person. It's everything that we got in place too. Offensive coordinator. We still have our defensive coordinator from previous years, which gives us stability in the defensive. You know, it's like you don't have to learn a new system and all that kind of stuff. You could just plug in. And I'm excited, man. The defense is going to give problems. Like, once we get everybody healthy, oh my goodness. Especially our D-line. Our D-line is looking vicious right now. But appreciate you guys, man. I thank you. Everybody just came through. I will be out of here for right now, but I might be back a little bit later. So I'll let you know. Raiders for life. Please don't give up the hope. I supported those losers hoping they would do good. Not so much. I know. I did too. I was hoping when McDaniels, like I was thinking, okay, well, shit, at least offense he did well. And then, he was a good coordinator over there. And it just didn't work, and then just the type of person he is, I'm just glad he's gone. Just thank goodness that it ended quickly and he's not still here. We actually upgraded. I feel like Chip Kelly will be a better offensive coordinator. But like I said, we'll see. I'm very confident, but at the same time, I do not want to put my foot in my mouth. So, but I feel we will compete and we will get better as each year goes by. So, love you guys. Appreciate you. And thank you.